Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are around this world. I am today on a very, very interesting topic, at least for me. And I have an amazing person who is a guest on our show. Hi, Anuraag Jain. Welcome to LinkedIn Live.
Thanks, Billy. And actually, it has been a fantastic one to start with. You and I first time met on Wednesday morning, right?
Correct. 2 days ago for everyone.
Yeah, roughly about, I will say 48 hours ago, when I sent you the message, hey, can we have a chat? And here we are. And it was just intuitive, oh, I need to talk to you, isn't it?
Absolutely. So for everyone who is watching, we met around a board of directors table, right? Completely not what we're going to talk about today. A very business-like meeting and discussing entrepreneurship and decisions and issues and markets and what is going on, and etc. And after that meeting, Anuraag sent me that message saying, like, I think we need to talk. And I spammed you with the links of different groups I've got on LinkedIn and what I do and all that. And I said, here you go, you can read that. And then for a split of a second, I was thinking, I recently created a LinkedIn group called Work from Intuition. And I was thinking, should I actually share this one? And my intuition was like, shoo. Absolutely, yes. So for everyone, this is exactly how Today Live was actually organized, because we want to talk about how we work from a state of intuition. So how you can define intuition?
Before we go there, actually, I just want to flag something. The last link which you sent me, before that, we had already agreed that let's do a catch up, and it was around LinkedIn mastery and LinkedIn profile and all that. And we scheduled the meeting, but we didn't discuss that, did we? We just ended up having the conversation about this.
Completely not. Yeah. We wanted to discuss business stuff, and then our whole conversation was about how we both work from states of intuition. Hence, we decided to share today with you guys, everyone. So if you're watching on live, put hashtag live. If you're watching on replay, put a hashtag replay. And put also in the comments where you're watching from today. I'm very curious, as we are...
And your views about intuition and your personal experiences.
Correct. So put, guys, in the comments, what is intuition for you? And I'm going to start with you, Anuraag.
Okay, so for me, actually, I read a few articles recently, this week, funnily enough, around, there was a study done by US and Canada universities, and they attributed intuition to your experience. Sometimes you have practiced it so much that it is like when you drive, you don't have to think about pressing the pedal, and you just do it intuitively. Well, to a large extent, that is how it works in the work environment, but not always. There are times when you just know your gut is telling you something is not right. Something is just not right, and it has saved me like hell.
Yeah.
And for me, intuition is when you listen to what your body or your senses are picking up, whether through energy of other people around you. We can look at it as a body language, subconsciously picking it up, translating it into something, or it could be, as this study said, that it is all based around your personal experience. I do believe in the first one, where you get random signals, and when you are tuned into, imagine the old style antennas, they were there. Once you tune into it, you will get a message. You don't know what signal that message is coming from, at what frequency and all that. So it is like that.
That's interesting, because you call it signal, I call it voice. So if I have to describe what is intuition for me, the most probably the one sentence I can give is like the internal voice, which comes from our source. Full stop. Could be like source of energy, internal voice, universe, whatever you call it, right? It's our divine us. But when the divine us is talking to us, this is the voice in our head, and that's what I call intuition. So how you know when it's really intuition and when it's just completely random thoughts?
In my case, it actually depends. I have this feeling I can't describe. Uh, People call it the feeling in the bones, in the gut, and all. But I have this feeling out of blue. I will get a particular. Sometimes it could be an image. Sometimes, as you said, a voice, a idea pops in,
Mm.
and you don't know where it came from. There is no context to it,
And you
and that's
cannot
what.
even explain, right?
Yeah,
Like you don't know how you know that, but you know it. Like, and
yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
that's the truth. Full stop.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then later on, you end up saying, "Look, I told you that will happen." And that is where you really do want to do it. I told you dance, but we can't do that.
Yeah.
And especially, actually, the other thing which you and I have in common is we both are techies. We are not like people have got this imagination or this idea, this stereotype that people who are sitting under a tree somewhere in a on a mountain, oh, and all that, they are more into that. And
I
you
would
and
love
I
to, but then somehow we need to also live normal life, right?
exactly. So so yeah, we both are techies, and in fact I belong to Jainism, and what I'm finding is our monks, most of them are very qualified. MA psychology, they have done IIT engineering, BTECs, and it is just amazing why more techies are getting into the so-called spiritual space, and it is just amazing.
So for all of you who is watching right now and you're not techie person, we kind of find out that technical people intend to be more spiritual than the rest. However, if you think this is completely wrong, put it in the comment. I don't mind. I wanna hear what you think. But most of my friends, and and I'm saying most because obviously working in a very technical environment, the people I'm surrounded by and most of the people I know, yeah, we all like technical. And I was trying, when we were discussing that, we were trying to find the logic, guys. Like, what's the logic, technical people, to be finding some kind of like an easy way to follow the intuition, right? And my suggestion on this one, and we're very, very interesting to hear what you think. My suggestion was that technical people, at some point in our life, we choose to go to technical, I'm not going to call it industry, I'm going to call it technical area, okay, technical knowledge and experience, because we like some kind of structure and codes and logic, right? And then when we get to a certain point in our life of working with this structure, we say like, okay, what's going to happen if we wipe off the structure, right? And this is where we actually see, okay, so when we wipe off structure and everything, it's only energy there, complete, just energy there. And yeah, that's what we decided. Why technical people like the spirituality. And spirituality is a very interesting word because most of us don't, I personally, I don't like using it in corporate environment because people start, for them, spirituality equals to woo, which is complete nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Not gonna use the BS words because we're live. So yeah, what?
In fact, in corporates, what I've found is people are more open to discussing religion than spirituality or intuition and things like that. And I do find it bizarre because at the end of the day, think about the religion. When you are going to church, you are meditating, you are asking for guidance. And then if the guidance has been labeled, and I will use the term label here as intuition, you reject it. how are you supposed to get that sign? How are you supposed to get that um, the feedback from whoever you are asking the help from? If
Yeah.
you're not going to listen to how they are, somebody, I read it somewhere. Somebody said it is, if the God could speak to you, how else will he speak if not through the back of your head,
Exactly.
through your imagination?
Yeah.
Think about it. And we both just said that intuition is more about, in your case, a voice, in my case, a feeling. How else will you get the feedback which you are asking, or help you are asking for?
Exactly. So, first stereotype, techie people are not exactly spiritual. Second stereotype, spirituality is not the word you're discussing when you're in a corporate environment. Hi, Reka, how are you? I'm very well, thank you so much. We are discussing spirituality and how we work from a state of intuition. So, what is the next myth? You said meditations. Let's talk about this for a second, because majority of our intuition messages come to us when our mind is calm.
Yes.
Right. And I love when people say, kind of, the people kind of have a perception that meditation is like a magic pill. I just love, that's another myth and stereotype. So let's talk about that. What is, like, how we use meditation? It's not a magic pill, okay?
No, it is not. It is not.
It's another
It does
nonsense.
help. It does help. And in fact, by the same token, laughter is also a good medicine, by the way, guys. The more you laugh, the better you are feeling, and it just uplifts you. It changes your feeling and vibration. Going back to meditation, what I find about meditation is, yes, it calms you down, but when you start sitting down, they immediately people will go, oh, I can't shut out the ideas, the voices in my head. It is running all over the place. That is another stereotype when it comes to meditation, right? That the moment you sit for meditation, everything should go blank as if nothing exists. Only time that type of meditation works is when you are dead. You will have no idea. Trust me.
That's
you will
the
have
only
no
time where you're gonna shut the voices, definitely. So
Yeah.
stereotype for people who don't meditate, please don't think that when you meditate the voices are gonna go away. It's just nonsense.
No.
So what is a good meditation for you?
I've been meditating since the early 90s. I will say, in fact, 1991, so making it 30 years. And recently I joined Monroe Institute, Hemisync, and all that. Not that I'm marketing here. They are good, but not marketing here. I use their tracks to help me go into deeper meditation. For me, it is the idea will come, the thought will come, especially what is bothering you, it will come. If you just acknowledge it, it will disappear. Don't engage it. Imagine if you are a parent and you have a small kid. If not, you might have nieces or your friends' kids and all that. Imagine you are talking to your friends, and this 2 year, 3 year old kid comes around. All they can say is "mummy, papa," whatever, and tug on your sleeve. They just keep tugging it. Yeah, they can't explain anything else. But the moment you acknowledge them, they will be happy, give you a smile, and they will go, leave you alone. It is the same thing with these thoughts. When you sit down for meditation, especially if you have not meditated for ever, or it is the first time, or you are newbie, what you will find is that a small kid will tug on your sleeve far more, then it won't. And with time, it will just let you have your own discussion or your calm and your peace. And once you go beyond that, you will find it relaxes you. Mindfulness is all about that. When you are looking at something, thoughts are coming, you are just letting them go. Mindfulness is all about that. When you take I think it is transcendental meditation. They give you a word, you meditate on it. when you are concentrating on that word, what actually is happening is the thought is coming, you again go to the word. The thought is coming, you again go to the word. You are not getting engaged, you are not arguing with yourself.
Yeah.
And that is what the meditation is. And other myth about meditation, you need to sit there for bloody hours. Sorry, for hours. Scratch that.
Just just say it the way it is, okay? We're not gonna BS it here. That's the reason why we're like, let's break stereotypes and myths.
Yes, yes. And what happens is you actually just need 1 minute to meditate. If you could just spend 1 minute observing your thoughts without getting engaged, you will find you calm down massively. Or just go for a mindful walk.
You know what? In addition to exactly what you're saying, at some point in my life, I realized that I'm multitasking all the time.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, it comes with what I do, and managing other people and having a team and way too many projects at the same time. That's the complete multitasking. And I'm sure, put a yes or no, guys, in the comments if you are multitasking every day. And when I started meditating, it was extremely difficult at the beginning to single task, meaning to single task, to think only about one thing, or to calm all the monkey mind voices and lower them down to just one. That was the biggest struggle. I'm not perfect. I have meditations when I still have the monkey minds. I can't lower them down to one. And you know what? Usually it's quite frustrating. For me at the beginning was frustrating. And then I was doing work with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and Judith said 100% yes to multitask, absolutely. So I started doing different meditations with the guidance of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he said something very interesting. There is no crap meditation, full stop. Like, there is no such thing as a bad meditation. When you sit down and you really start working on yourself to single task / meditate, it's quite important. And the other thing we were talking about, like doing meditations where you put something in your mind, like as a question, and then you sit with that question in your mind before meditation. Or another type of meditation where you don't put any thoughts, any expectations in your mind from the meditation, just sit and listen. So which one is your favorite?
Both. Honestly, both. There are times when there is a problem going on, I'll sit down and think about, okay, tell me what I need to learn from this situation. So there is a defined outcome. The key in both scenarios is do not argue. You are there as a listener,
Yes.
not a talker. At that time, remember, your mouth is shut. You are not supposed to talk back. You are supposed to listen and observe. Observe the images, observe the body feeling, and that is where the intuition comes back. We have sort of came back full circle in that. There are times when I just want to, relax. I don't want to think about anything. And at that time, I basically say, okay, look, I want to relax. But if you think I should know something which is important, pertinent, just bring it on. Again, do not argue with it. Do not get into a massive discussion, just in a listen mode.
Yeah, you're the observer and the listener. You're not in the mode of discussing.
Yeah, you are not there to be the boss. Remember, you are the boss when you are awake. That is the time when you are being coached, if you like, by your intuition, by your higher conscience, whatever, even God. Honestly, you can label it whatever you want to label it, but please, please do not argue. Imagine, will you? God is telling you something. Will you argue with them? No, God, but you did not help me that time. I'm not going to. it doesn't work that way.
Exactly. And another type of meditations, the first time when I went to a week-long retreat, which was literally getting up 3 in the morning, start meditating at 4 in the morning, and finishing meditations around 8, 9 in the evening. But it was like lecture, meditation, lecture, meditation, lecture. And that was it for 7 days in a row. I can tell you that the beginning was difficult to sit on my bum and do that for first 2 days. And then it just asked for more. And at some point, I'll never forget that Dr. Joe Dispenza said, your goal here is to learn how to do it yourself, which I loved it. But obviously everyone is saying it, right? And again, there's no advertising. I'm just saying what happened so I can explain to you my own struggles with that. And then he said, we can do walking meditation, sitting meditation, lying down meditation. And your goal is to start meditate with open eyes. And when he said that, I was like, this guy is out of his mind. That this is just impossible. That was the first thing ever in my mind was like, this is just ridiculous. There's no way to happen that. And then I start practicing more and more on a daily basis. I started with 3 times meditating a day, so I can calm my mind and I can start listening my intuitive messages, right? That was my kind of like, I was also doing it for healing purposes, etc. But that listening to my intuitive messages was one of the reasons I wanted to learn that. And at some point I said, I get to a point with practice, guys, the more you practice, the more you start getting used to. And the moment you sit down, your mind goes quiet straight away. And it's just amazing. Like absolutely. It's all about practicing. And the last thing I wanted to say is that when I start practicing meditations with open eyes, I was sitting in business meetings and people literally are like, my job is to listen problems. And I delete the word problem from my dictionary. And when you, and I'm sure that's the same for you in IT world, it's always the same. So we sit in these meetings and we listen constantly like, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. So our job is to solve whatever comes to us, right? Yeah. And because I start practicing more meditations, literally with open eyes, I could, with one breath, I could just go into this state of connecting to my source, which I call intuition, and start listening my messages and giving them the answers without knowing how I know that this is the answer, right? Have you ever had that, like in a business meeting, to just like to connect with your own, to connect with your own source, and just straight away you know the answers of whatever is going on right now? Have you ever had that?
Not in IT context, but I also coach executives and businesses, and quite often I find myself all of a sudden, okay, I hear what they are saying, but actually what is going on? And I'll just go inside and immediately something will come up. I can't remember what it was yesterday. I think it was around the crap meditation piece. And for that brief moment, I went quiet. I was thinking, what is she actually trying to do? And then I said something, and you just solved my, my problem, which was there. I didn't even know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I can't remember that.
You were giving me answers of something. It was bothering me. Like, yes, I'll tell you what. So we were talking about meditations, and I said I call meditation when I ask questions and I sit in a meditation, and I call channeling when I sit down without asking questions and putting any kind of focus on specific thing. And you said this is BS. That's another stereotype and that's another myth, because it doesn't matter how you call it. Totally, absolutely agree with you. It doesn't matter how you call it. So you can call it meditation, you can call it channeling, you can call it intuitive, I don't know, connecting with your intuitive messages, whatever you want to call it, right? How you call that? How you call all these connections. Just put it in the comment how you call it. Do you call it meditations, intuition, gut feeling?
Yeah. Whatever it is, we will love to know. While we are waiting for them to answer, I have an interesting question to you. I know you said you go into meditation, intuition during the meeting. What is, in your mind, the weirdest place you have meditated?
What do you mean?
The strangest place where nobody will think you can meditate. What is that strangest place you have meditated?
Oh my God. Mostly is the business meetings. Yeah. Because,
Okay.
but that's the thing, that's a stereotype as well. So I start doing walking meditations in the park and people watching me strangely because you, at some point, it's a guided walking meditation. At some point you stand up, you put hands on your heart, you close your eyes, you breathe, and you just like, you're completely not in this reality basically, right? And this is in the park, obviously public place. I did shopping and I was doing a walking meditation. Which become already kind of, it's not a norm, but it's not strange for me. So I would say the strangest place would be like a business meeting. What was
Okay.
yours?
Imagine there is a big decision you have to take, and everybody is putting a lot of pressure. You can't get out anywhere, and you are in the office, and it is pouring outside. Where do you go? I went to the men's.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, in the toilet, in the cubicle, lock it up, put the seat down, and just sit there. And you know what? When I came out of it, those were some seriously good decisions.
I love it.
Whoever said that thinking on the throne, I will put it as meditating on the throne. But the point,
I love it.
the point I'm trying to make is you don't need to fall for any stereotype that you have to sit like this, you have to do like this to get the best out of it.
That's another stereotype and myth, that you have to be always sitting with crossed legs and whatever fingers pointing whatever direction, and then like straighten your back, etc. That is, I'm sorry, this is a BS. Guys. I can totally agree with you.
Yeah, so
I don't have that experience. I love it. Totally love it.
no, but there have been times. In fact, forget about massive business decisions, right? I have taken time out for business decisions that way. I have gone to meeting rooms when it was empty, switch off the lights, close the door, sat there, and went through it. Strategic planning or a problem solving or whatever it is. What I found is, even when these were difficult decisions, for example, if you are doing a disciplinary, unfortunately, as a CTO and IT director or a C-level person, you have to deal with some of these issues. Before that, if you go there, I have found myself coming from a place of where I know where the other person may not feel completely heartbroken about the whole situation, and it puts me in a completely different place, more empathetic even for that purpose. So yeah, don't fall for stereotypes.
No.
I don't like the labels.
You reminded me that I had one meeting and I had to kind of take a decision between, I'm going to say another stereotype, being more human or being more business. Okay. And I'm sure you understand that. So I couldn't take that decision. It was just like, it was very clear, either option one, option B. Option A was very human decision towards people. Option B was towards company, and then obviously if you save the company, you save the people in the company. So it's still human, right? But I couldn't take a decision, and I excused myself. I went out and I went for a walk in the corridor, because when I walk, that is another way to contact my source. Is like walking very fast pace. And I was in the office, so I had to walk in the corridor quite fast. So people thought that like I had to go to a toilet, whatever they thought, it doesn't matter. But I went back and I was like, so this is the decision basically. But I really had to step outside the whole environment I was in. I had to step out of that room and then take the decision based on my intuition. I love our talks. Totally loving it. We just hit the 30 minutes mark, guys, and usually I do LinkedIn live for 30 minutes, and I have to jump on a Clubhouse live right now, believe it or not. So
yeah, this was a last minute thing, so we only had 30 minutes slot.
Yeah. I have a question to all of you watching right now, regardless if it's a replay or live. If you're interested in this topic of knowing more how we both with Anuraag work from intuition, put a yes in the comments. And we're thinking to either do it like Wednesday morning or Thursday mornings, like early mornings, UK time. So yeah, if you're interested, put a yes, and we'll know to do another one next Thursday.
Also, anything else related to this and business and the work, we will love to discuss it. Who knows, we might invite one of you to join us.
Totally. I have the permission, I think, to have up to 10 people in the room. So here you go.
That's for that we will need a whole day. No, we don't need to do that.
Loving it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming. Thank you so much for the good laugh as always and the good fun. Thank you, universe, for bringing me Anuraag in my life, because that is absolutely
by the way, before you sign off, everybody else, we did not know before Wednesday that we both worked on the similar projects at the same time for two big companies. And to top it all off, we have a common friend from in our circle we had no clue about.
My best friend from London sent me a message saying, how you know Anuraag? He just said that he's going to go live tomorrow on LinkedIn with you. It's just bizarre. And I was like, how you know Anuraag? Because I know how I know him, but now how you know him? It's funny. The world is so small. Absolutely amazing.
All right. I'm conscious that you have another call to start. So, hey, let's wrap this one up and to plan next one.
Last words.
Thank you, everyone who has joined or will be watching later on. We definitely look forward to your questions to discuss more and have more fun.
Absolutely. Thank you again. And I'm going to see you either next Wednesday or Thursday, and Friday as always. Thank you. Gonna see you soon.